So where do we even begin with this one? My new Lowrider ST in white sand pearl. So I was originally going to make this be one of those cute reveal videos where, you do the whole thumbnail with the question marks and you black out the outline of the bike. But any of you who have been following my channel, shouldn't be surprised if I write anything about buying a new bike that it was going to be this bike. So if you've been following my Lowrider ST content, then you know that this particular bike left quite an impression on me, right? So recently I released a video of my final ride on the ST where I was giving it back, and you could probably hear it in my voice that there was definitely just this longing for more. And I had put thousands of miles on that bike, and I don't know, guys, like it left an impression on me that no other bike had really left at this point. And I said it before, but I think that this is the bike that Harley-Davidson did get right in modern times. And again, it came across in my rides, it came across in the miles, in every type of situation that it did, right? So again, it had left an impression on me, and then quite a few things happened, right? So the funny thing about this situation, you all who are watching this, is I technically can't even ride this bike right now. If you've been following what's been happening with me, I was in a pretty severe motorcycle accident back in November. Right now, I can't talk too much about that just because of legal reasons, but basically I couldn't walk for an extended period of time, and right now I still cannot ride. So I don't even know when I'm going to be able to ride this bike. It could actually be that the road captain or my friends are actually riding this bike before I actually can. And in my situation, I could have just laid down and just given up in that situation. But I decided that my way of going back on the attack was taking an opportunity that came my way and starting a new build project, specifically with a bike that I was really passionate about. So I'll talk more about that in some future videos, but basically what's going to be happening is we are going to be doing, I don't like to call it a build, because to me, like, a build implies doing heavy motor work, like what we did to my Dyna Lowrider S. But again, just for clarity, I am going to call it a quote-unquote build, but we're going to be doing a project with this bike where all of my sponsors have come through to contribute all sorts of different parts that we're going to be throwing on this bike, and we're going to be doing a whole bunch of install videos and a whole bunch of reviews on those parts. So you guys know that I'm not big on doing install videos. When I do my wrenching, I like to just focus on the job at hand. We're going to be partnering up with O'Toole's Harley-Davidson, specifically with Dr. Mike. So he's a really big reason of why my Dyna is running as good as it is right now, and he really took his time to do that build right for me. So again, I'm really excited to partner up with him to start building out another bike that I'm super passionate about and kind of see where that goes. So yeah, the situation of what happened is, again, I brought that Lowrider ST that Harley-Davidson had sent to me back to this particular dealership, which is funny. I recorded a really sad little short or Instagram reel to go along with it, where it's like the Johnny Cash "We'll Meet Again" song, and it just had this feeling of longing, that I was going to really miss that bike. So brought it back to this particular dealership, and in my mind, I even said it in the video, like I said with certainty this bike would come again in my future. It had left that particular impact on me. Well, I said there is without a doubt that this bike will be in my garage someday. You can go back in my video and watch it. And then what happened is I'm laid out from a pretty severe motorcycle wreck, and then I just see the announcement that they released this bike in literally my favorite paint ever, right? I'll talk more about it in a future video, but this particular paint, this shade of white that's almost like a cream when you compare it to this helmet, once I saw that they came out with this paint, I was like, that's it. I'm going to have to find a way to make this bike happen. Fast forward a couple months, I floated the idea to some of my sponsors. There's too many for me to list right now, but these are the sponsors who are going to be behind this project, right? Shout out to all these sponsors. I could not be doing this project without y'all. Really excited to get this project going with y'all, as well as partnering up with O'Toole's Harley-Davidson. And through the support of my sponsors and through the support of O'Toole's Harley-Davidson, we were able to work something out where I was able to feasibly buy this bike new and start a build project on it, right? So it's funny, there's always that meme, right, where you see me with my Hot Rod Dyna, my DX, my FXR, and now you see me buying this bike, and you're like, Man, you must be rich. No, I'm not rich, man. I'm just financially irresponsible. Without working with O'Toole's Harley-Davidson on this one, and without the support of all my sponsors, this would just not be feasible. There's no way this would happen. So I'm so excited to have this bike right now. I am as excited, if not more excited, than when I bought my Dyna Lowrider S new in 2016. Like I said, this bike has just checked off all the boxes for me. You know, this bike, like I said, for my height, 5'7", right, about £155, this bike fits me perfectly, you know, and from the first time I sat on it from the last, this bike just 100% fit me like a glove and left that impression on me. So it fits me better than my Dyna. And don't get me wrong, my Dynas fit me great. I've gone cross country with them, but this one is just that much more dialed in for my riding style. So just because I know a lot of you are in the market for a new bike, and there's, on the videos I've done on the Lowrider ST, there have been a lot of questions, specifically folks wondering, should they buy this bike? Is this the right bike for them? I'm going to do a follow-up video where I'm going to talk specifically why I did buy this bike new, even with the stable that I currently have, right? I've said this before in a previous video with my FXR, my Dyna, and my FXDX. I really thought I was done. I really thought I had the trifecta of bikes, right? And then one day I threw a leg over this and everything changed. So specifically, if you're somebody that is in the market for a new bike and you're wondering what was so compelling about this bike that I would go and buy it, even when I can't even ride it, right? I'll throw that video up after this just to talk a little bit more about the situation with this and my reasoning for going with this bike, because I do have some interesting reasons. But that's it. You know, there is nothing like that new bike feeling. This is my second time ever having a brand new bike, 0 miles, all my miles. And I'll tell you what, you know, I do own multiple used bikes, but my Dyna Lowrider S, all those miles are mine. There's 0 to the 60K plus that I have on it right now. I did all those miles. It's all me, and there's nothing more satisfying than knowing where every mile on that bike came from, right? So I'm a proponent, if you find the right bike and it works for you, of buying new. And it worked out for me with my Dyna Lowrider S, and I'm really excited to see where this new path leads with this White Sand Pearl Lowrider ST. I'm stoked on this one, and I'm glad to have you all joining me for a new journey on this one. You know, the journey already started. It started here in August of 2021, where I rode the Gunship Gray one for the first time. Then, as you know, Harley-Davidson sent me one, and now here we are. They poisoned my mind. Harley-Davidson, you did it. There was no way I wasn't going to be able to not buy this bike after putting the thousands of miles that I did in the fall. You did it, Harley-Davidson. Congratulations. I am drinking the Kool-Aid on the Lowrider ST, as many of you have as well. So, as always, thank you all for joining me for the journey. If you've been enjoying the Lowrider ST content, it's obviously going to keep coming, but we will still have our usual Dyna and FXR content coming as always as well. Stay safe, stay low. And on that, FXLRST Brooklyn is out.